Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we're here with Retro Wars Week 4 game practice. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, I'll put a link in the description for the playlist. We're currently in Week 4. I'll put a picture here at the top. This is our games for this week. Outrun, Road Rash 3, Mario Kart Double Dash, and Parappa the Rapper. So we'll start off with some good old Mario Kart Double Dash. This is a favorite of mine. This is my game pick for the week. Rules for this: you can pick any character you want. I'm going with Koopa and Paratroopa. You can pick any vehicle you want. I'm going with the Barrel Train. And we are doing time trials on each of the 16 tracks. The winner of the track gets 1 point. So 16 points total to be distributed. And at the end, however many points everybody has is how we decide your placings for the game. I'll go through a couple tracks and kind of talk about my game plan and stuff. If you haven't seen one of these videos before, essentially I just play through all 4 of our solo games every week and talk about my plans, my strong points, my weak points, and kind of how I'm feeling about each game. So we did have Double Dash last year. I won it fairly easily. I was beating everybody by like 2, 3, 5 seconds. I don't feel quite as confident this year because they know that I'm playing well. So I'm sure they've practiced a bit more themselves. So the main thing with this, I know all 16 tracks fairly well. So I've started working on learning the advanced techniques. On Double Dash specifically, there's something called A-Tech. So in this game, when you go to drift, you get yellow, red, and then blue flames. Each time you hit left or right with your analog stick, your flame changes color, and then when you finally get the blue one, it gives you a speed boost when you let go of drift. So there's a technique called A-Teching, which is this, where you can get those blue flames and stay essentially in a straight line, because normally you have to drift to get these flames, and it makes you turn farther and farther into the drift to get the flame higher because you have to turn the wheel. A-Tekken is essentially where you can do the drifting and get to the blue flame, but stay in a straight line, not have to actually drift like how you normally would think of drifting. Peach Beach is a pretty good map for it. I might be able to show you on here. I'm not the best at this technique. I'm still like a amateur when it comes to learning this. So I'm not fully maximizing the use of it, but I've got it down to where a few spots it really comes in handy for me. This is one of them on the beach here. You can go like this and just keep doing these drifts and you just maximize that boost power. When I drive the Barrel Train normally, max speed is right here at, well, 57 miles an hour on regular ground. You're a little slower on certain surfaces, but when I boost, it puts you up to like 70 miles an hour. So essentially, I can do maximum speed in straight lines once I've learned this tech. So I kind of go a little bit over the road now when I do it, but even with that, it's still faster than me just driving like normally and not using the boost at all. I can't exactly give you a proper breakdown of the mechanic because I'm barely doing it myself. I think where I was last year, those guys at a minimum are at going into this year. I made sure that I've like mastered the tracks and I know the ins and outs of every track in the game, I think. This spot's another spot where you can take real good advantage of A-Tech. I can go down this whole straightway like this and kind of keep that straight line going with the boost. So I think that's going to be my edge this year. Now, Chinzy is pretty good at this game as well. He's kind of got the technique down probably about as much as I do. As for Perp, I don't know how well he has learned this. I don't know how much he's practiced this game. If he's not tried to learn this technique at all, me and Chinzy are definitely duking it out for first and second. I didn't even know about this game till last year either. I played Mario Kart 64 growing up, but other than that, I've never really been into Mario Kart. When I found out about this one though and started playing it, it was game changer for me. This easily became my favorite one. Fun game. I can't wait to play this. We're like an hour or 2 out from actually playing, so I'm ready for that. I'll show you guys some of my times. Luigi Circuit, 1:26. Big improvement from last year. I think 1:30 or 1:31 was my time. Peach Beach, another like 5 or 6 second improvement. I got 1:18 on there. That's Double Dash. Should be fun. On to the next game. All right, next up we got Outrun. This is Mag's game for the week. Rules for this: we each get 4 attempts. Whatever your best run is what you're comparing against the other 3 players. I think I forgot to mention it, but in the description, all 4 of our Twitch channels will be there. So feel free to check everybody out. Every week when we go to play these games against each other, we all live stream it. I just make the YouTube videos to go through some of my training so I can make some YouTube content on this as well. So you have gas, brake, and gear shift. You have 2 gears, low and high. That's all the controls of the game, and turning. Basically, if you look way at the bottom right, those rectangles are the levels of the game. You start off on this one level, Coconut Beach, and every time you get to the end of a level, you have the option to go left or right. This game is hard, so like it's very easy to run out of time. If you have a handful of little slowdowns or one big crash, you could potentially run out of time, and if you run out of time, your run's over. I actually haven't beat this at all in my practice. I've gotten to the final level a few times, but otherwise, at the moment, I'm picking the easiest route. Every level has its own difficulty, easy, medium, hard. The very first level is easy, and I don't know if there's just one or two other levels that are easy. Most of them are medium, and then a few are hard. You can do the easier levels and pick a route that's an easier one to run, essentially, but those levels actually give you less points. So you could go on harder levels and not get as far as me, but have more points than me, which in the way that we're deciding who's better than the other person for this game, points matter. So my current plan is to do the easiest route possible and actually try to like beat the game, because it's hard to beat. So if I can manage to do it one time out of those 4 attempts, I might could secure a win for this game. I don't know how well the other guys are at this game. We've never played this one before, and I've never heard anybody talk about this game. As for obstacles, if you bump into any cars, you'll crash out and have to like reset. You can kind of bump into them and lose speed, and you can drive off the road and lose speed, but if you hit any of the actual obstacles, like the signs or anything, or the walls or anything, depending on what level you're on, you can completely crash out and lose 5, 6, 7 seconds. And that could be enough to completely trash your run. But I can't really decide whether I want to go for an easier route and try to beat the game, or do a harder route and try to make sure I secure maximum amount of points. I would like to beat the game for the hell of beating the game, because that would be fun. This level gets a little crazy because you have a 3 or 4 lane road most of the time, and the traffic is heavy. What can happen too is there'll be cars like this in every lane in front of you, and there is no clean way to get around them sometimes. You can go in the center of a lane, like on the white line, and actually make your way in between cars, but it is so sketchy. And if you get stuck like this for too long, it'll slow you down so much to where you actually don't have enough time to complete the level. I should have enough time. Boom, 2 seconds on the clock and we beat it. So this run is a little better than average. Normally I get about halfway through the game. We're doing pretty good on this one so far. Don't crash. But yeah, I have no clue how those guys are doing. So this game is a complete wild card for all of us. A lot of games that we play, there's some prior knowledge or history that we have on one player or all of the players. Fuck. Yep, that's what happens when you hit a tree. You see all this time I'm wasting? And so that one crash probably threw away this whole run for me, because throughout the other levels so far, I've had a handful of times where I had to slow down a little bit, you know, on sharp turns or waiting on cars. And so that one crash takes enough time away to where you'll run out of time. That might have been the last level, actually. Oh, look how close I am to the finish. Damn. I actually don't know what the finish line looks like. That is the farthest I've got at all. But yeah, that's Outrun. All right, next up, we got Road Rash 3. This is Chinzy's game for the week. And so the rules for this, we get a cheat code to put in. What this cheat code does is put the game to level 5. The different levels, as far as I know, just mean that the tracks get longer and the enemies have faster bikes. And this gives you a bunch of money. So with that money, you can go to the shop. You can buy whatever bike you want. I'm going to Super Bikes and using the Bonsai 750 1100, put all the upgrades on it. We are all doing a run on each of the 5 maps in the game. And however well you do in the race will be what place you get amongst the 4 of us. So first place gets 4 points, second place gets 3 points, third place gets 2 points, and fourth place gets 1 point. And so for all 5 of those races, we'll get points. And then at the end, we look at everybody's totals, and that's how we decide placings for the actual game itself. So you have HP for your bike. At the bottom left, you have HP for your player. And on the bottom right, you have HP of whatever enemy you are attacking. So since we're playing on level 5, we have really fast bikes that can be pretty hard to control a lot of times. And I ran into a car. There's traffic that comes at you. The cars really hurt the durability of your bike. If your bike goes all the way down, it blows up, your race is over. There's also police that you run into throughout the level. If you crash into one of them or crash near one of them, you get busted and the race is over. It's very easy to crash 3 or 4 times and have your run be done. And all 4 of us are gonna struggle with not having that happen. I think this race, oh, I almost hit that car. I think this race was, okay, I hit the truck. Never mind. The truck going the same direction as me and slow as hell I ran into. This whole race is 16.4 miles, I think. Under my bike HP, it shows my mileage. So right now we're at 5.2. So they're pretty long races. They could be like 5-6 minutes to complete one. So it's a bit of a long haul, because you have to be focused like every second of these races, because cars come around these hills fast sometimes. And you're like bouncing off the hills and punching people and getting knocked around. But you go off-road a lot in this game to escape vehicles and things like that. I think that's most of the game. Fuck. The reason I'm playing slow and steady, aside from not wanting to die and actually complete the race, I guess off screen the CPUs can crash as well. So what'll happen is I can drive very slow, and if I don't hit anything for a while, I'll eventually come across another CPU and pass them. So I'm not worried at all about trying to be in first place at any point of the race, because I'll eventually catch up to these dudes along the way. And this is Chinzy's game, and he's a fan of this series, so he's gonna be pretty good at this. Perp is going to be good at this game as well, I'm sure. Mag, I don't know. I don't think he's played this much. But what I do feel is that if I could manage to complete all 5 races, no matter what place I get, just finishing them, I probably am guaranteeing myself a 2nd place. But easier said than done. I am 1 hit from death here for the last third of this race or so. I think this is it. So yeah, we go. Boat first place. See what I'm saying? I had 2 or 3 big crashes and I was not flying the whole time. That's Road Rash. The final solo game for this week is Parappa the Rapper. This is Perp's pick for this week. Rules for this, we get 4 attempts and it's progress based. So whoever gets the farthest is first place. And then from there, we look at how far the rest of the people go and decide the other placements. This is like a rhythm game if you've never played it. You follow an instructor and he has icons pop up at the top. He does it, and then you have to mimic him. This is my least confident game of the week. I don't know what it is, but the timing of this game does not work for me. Perp is really good at this. Chinzy's good at this. I don't know about Mag, but I am ass at this. I can barely get past the first level. It's sure to beat ya. Let's get it right. Let's teach ya now. Kick. Punch. Chop. Block.
Once more now, kick.
Kick. Punch. Chop. And block. So bottom right, you see my score. If you finish, there's 4 lessons on every level. Jump. Turn. Pose. Jump. Pose. Duck. And turn. So at the end of level 4, you gotta have a good or cool score to move on. Kick, punch.
Chop, block.
Chop, block.
Chop, kick.
Chop, kick.
Punch, block.
I'm failing. Chop, block.
Gonna get harder now, duck and jump.
Duck and jump.
Turn and pose.
Turn and pose.
Duck and turn.
Duck and turn. But it's all about matching the rhythm. Pose. Maybe I don't have rhythm.
Here we go now, kick, punch, block.
Kick, punch, block.
Chop, kick,
I have to sing or I completely fail. But I'm still failing. Yep. If you get awful too many times, you fail. It just doesn't line up for me. I hit the button when my character goes over the buttons. I follow the rhythm and do it slightly before or slightly after. It just never fucking works for me. I don't know what it is. The songs are really funny though. I really like the style of this game. Yeah, I think there's 5 levels total, with each of those having 4 lessons, I think. The best I ever do is level 2. I don't know what I do wrong in this game. I fucking suck at it. That's all to it. I've literally played this game like 20 times in the past 2 days. There's no excuse. I just blow at this game. That's the 4 solo games of the week. I will see y'all next week with Retro Wars Week 5 practice. Here's an image at the top of our scores from this week, because you're seeing this video after we've already played for the week. So I'll be able to update this to show you where we're currently at after playing these games. So yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you soon. Peace, everybody.